Welcome back to the Every Single Oasis Single series on the Girls Like Rock 2 podcast. My name is Sarah. This is my sister Katie.
Hello.
Be Here Now era part 2. We are on to the single Stand By Me.
An Oasis gem.
Another Oasis gem.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So this year, Katie and I are going through all Oasis singles, keeping the Oasis vibes alive in 2026 here on the podcast. Oasis Vibes Alive, though, will continue with the documentary coming out.
In the fall. So excited.
Yeah, me too. Stay tuned for a critique on that.
Well, it's been such a long wait because we've all been told it was going to come out on Netflix, and then
that's right. Netflix.
It was going to be released last summer, or I guess not last summer.
Well, I heard that it's being released in like IMAX.
Yeah, and then on Hulu or Disney Plus.
Okay. So I hope it comes here to like the Toronto area.
I would imagine.
I would think so.
We love Oasis.
We do. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah.
So, Stand By Me. If you follow along, usually we do tidbits. We talk about the B-sides, go into a little bit of the music video and some personal connections of each single. I was taking the reins on tidbits, but Katie for Be Here Now is doing the tidbits. You did a great job with Do You Know What I Mean, Katie?
Thank you, Sarah.
I really enjoyed that. And so I'm really, really looking forward to your Stand By Me tidbits.
That's a lot of pressure. Don't get that excited.
I'm sure
I'll see what I can do.
See what you can do. I'll take what I can get, Katie.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. Stand By Me tidbits.
Stand By Me tidbits, Sarah. Stand By Me was released on September 22nd, 1997. So this is about 2 months after the release of Do You Know What I Mean?
Right.
2 to 3 months, and a month after the release of Be Here Now.
Yes. So Be Here Now has been released.
Yeah. The Oasis vibes were still thriving.
I can imagine, yes.
Yes. Also, though, historically, kind of a weird time for the world because in the end of August, of course, Princess Diana passed away.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize that as a kid that the release of Be Here Now was so close to Princess Diana.
Oh, within days.
Yeah, I do remember that, of course.
Yeah.
The whole world. But now as an adult, I was like, oh, that was super close together.
Super close together. And also just interesting because I won't repeat what Oasis have said before about the British monarch. They didn't always say the nicest things. And it was just a weird time in the world when she died. And not that I'm comparing the death of Princess Diana to September 11th, because they're two totally different situations, but they're just similar in the sense that they both just had this weird, sad effect on the world.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. The reason I bring up 9/11 is because I've read numerous biographies on artists who released albums around that time.
Yes.
And they often said it just had a weird impact on their sales and popularity because it was such a weird time. So I'm looking back, I'm thinking that it did, I would say, probably have an effect on the release of Be Here Now. Just kind of a somber time for England.
Yeah, for sure. No, that was huge.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
So all of this being said, Stand By Me reached number 2 on the UK singles chart. And Sarah had brought up to me, that's because Candle in the Wind, Elton John's lovely tribute to Princess Di, was released at the same time.
Yeah.
Around the same time.
I think like 2 weeks before, and I think it stayed at number 1 for like
it
5
held
or
on
6
to the top
weeks.
Spot.
Yeah, I would imagine one of the best-selling singles in the history of singles in the UK.
Yeah, that was huge. I remember our mother had it.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of households had it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm kind of blabbing away here, but it just made me think as an adult. As a child, I was 10 when Princess Di passed away, 10 when Be Here Now came out. As you mentioned, didn't really put the two together.
Yeah.
As an adult, I'm like, yeah, okay, that would probably have an effect on things.
Well, I actually read once that the Verve, The Drugs Don't Work,
Okay.
was released around this time, and they think
Yep.
maybe it did so well because it's like a more somber song,
Okay.
kind of coming together. And I thought about that with Stand By Me.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, like Candle in the Wind, Stand By Me,
Yep.
The Drugs Don't Work, these kind of like coming together type of
Yeah.
songs for the country.
Yeah.
And maybe that's one reason why Stand By Me did well. It was just
Yeah.
such a comforting song.
Oh, a very
Right?
comforting
At-
song.
at this
Very
time.
comforting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get
Yeah.
more into that when we talk about our personal connection with Stand By Me. But you could feel it when they played it at the reunion show. Spoiler alert, it was played at the reunion show. You could just
Yeah.
feel that sense of community and the
You
sense
could
of togetherness.
Feel it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sarah, all these years of having Be Here Now, I've discussed. I had it on cassette tape. You had it on CD.
I did.
I've streamed it many a times on Spotify and YouTube Music. I never really thought much of the line "made a meal and threw it up on Sunday." I thought it was an homage to like, oh yeah, I was hungover. My life's a bit of a mess right now.
Could have been. I mean, at this point for Noel Gallagher.
But did you read about how that line is because when he first moved to London on his own, his mother, Peggy, was like, make sure you make a good meal for yourself. So he made himself
I
a
did
Sunday
read that.
roast.
I think I did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I felt kind of silly as a
Oh.
32-year long Oasis fan. I didn't know that.
So did he make the roast and it didn't go?
He said he had
didn't
food poisoning
sit
for like 2 days.
very well. Yeah. Actually,
So-
I had that once too with a steak.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Bad food poisoning. So make sure you cook your like. Anyways, let's.
And we've officially gone off topic.
Yeah. Let's go back to the
But
Stand By
no,
Me
so
tidbits.
it's just funny because I just, like I said, I always assumed, oh, he got hungover. He needs to get his ducks in a row.
It was his mom that was like,
Yeah.
make sure you take care of yourself.
And he's like, okay. Irony is he gives himself food poisoning by trying to make a wholesome meal.
Talk about like literal lyrics there. hey?
Yeah.
Like,
But Oasis make it cool.
they do, because that line, yeah, and that's how it starts, the
Yep.
song.
Yeah, made a meal and threw it up on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the premise of the song. Kind of mother looking out for you, stand by me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my first real tidbit on the song.
That's a great first tidbit.
Yes. So I found I had to dig a bit deeper to come up with some sort of tidbits. For me, it was a brand new tidbit. Maybe some of you out there didn't know either that it was about Noel Gallagher's food poisoning, that first line. I thought that was a fun tidbit, but I'm sure there'll be people commenting that that's kind of known Oasis knowledge, and
Yeah.
I apologize for not coming across that sooner. So in researching for this song, Sarah, I found a 2025 article from The Guardian where indie musicians chose their favorite Oasis song.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and what I thought was cool is there's an American guitarist. Her name is Lindsay Jordan, but she goes by the name of Snail Mail.
Okay.
And she actually chose Stand By Me as her favorite Oasis song.
Very cool.
I thought that was cool because a lot of the other indie artists chose the expected ones, Supersonic, Live Forever.
Yeah.
So she chose Stand By Me, and she wrote, Stand By Me is the first Oasis song I became obsessed with. It still gives me full-body chills listening to it. All the pieces just seem to fit together perfectly and simply, but it takes so much skill to be able to do that. And then she ends her little snippet by saying, Oasis's songs are so well done that they kind of sneak into your head. Even now when I'm writing songs, I think, oh, is that a touch of Oasis? I find them impossible not to borrow from in some way.
That's awesome.
I thought that was really a nice way of putting it because so often Oasis they're being accused of ripping off the Beatles.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really cool that this artist actually was like, don't we all borrow from Oasis? Kind of
Yeah.
giving them props for all of the good work they do for songwriting.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny because there's a band, The Rolling People. If you've made it this far, you may know them. They're from the UK.
Okay.
And they're from, I think, somewhere more in the north. Classic English rock and really good. I like them a lot. But there's a couple of songs where I'm like, this sounds like Oasis.
Yeah.
And they're young. They're in like their early 20s. So now it's like, oh, they're
cool.
It is cool.
It's seeping into the new gen.
Yeah.
Gen Z.
So I'm like, oh, maybe there'll be some cool new rock bands coming out of England who were like, yeah, I listened to, or my dad listened to Oasis.
Yep.
I don't know.
I'm sure.
It's neat. Yeah.
I'm sure. Well, like that, all those clips of Beckham with his sons rocking out at the Oasis show, and his one son is a drummer now, isn't he? In a band? Is he a drummer? He's in a band.
He's in a band.
So we'll have to listen to them, see if there's any Oasis ties.
Yeah, maybe.
So Stand By Me, it did make the Rolling Stones top 40 Oasis songs list that they released to celebrate the band getting back together in 2024. Sarah, can you guess what number Stand By Me made?
Top 40 for Rolling Stone. 20?
25.
Okay.
So it made it on there.
Yeah, yeah.
They called Stand By Me Be Here Now's Anchor, and they called it a top tier ballad.
Oh, Anchor.
Which
I
think
like that.
I do. That kind of goes into my next point, Sarah. There is so much criticism on the album Be Here Now.
Yeah, yeah.
But I find one constant is most critics list Stand By Me as one of the standout tracks.
Yeah, now that you mention it, the bit of research I've done with Be Here Now with our podcast, yes, it is.
Yeah.
That is one. The Stand By Me is like
people
the
still
standout.
people still seem to like Stand By
Yeah,
Me.
it's such a good song.
I'm biased. I love Be Here Now. If you've been following along with our podcast series, it's my favorite Oasis album. So I'm biased in that I think the entire album should be praised. But I totally understand how the critics who don't like the album do list Stand By Me as a standout track.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah, definitely. You can't deny.
Yeah.
All the pieces fall into place, as that rocker mentioned.
As Snail Mail said. Oh, I just love what she wrote. I think she wrote it so beautifully.
It's great.
In a 2002 review, so a little bit 5 years after the album was released, Stephen Thompson of the AV Club, he called Stand By Me one of the only good tracks present on the album. Can you guess the other two he mentioned, Sarah?
He mentions 3 that are like good tracks.
He says, yeah.
I'm going to go with Do You Know What I Mean?
No.
Oh. I don't know. Don't Go Away?
Don't Go Away.
Oh.
And My Big Mouth.
Oh, that's a good one. My Big Mouth.
Oh, My Big Mouth.
Oh,
I
so
could just do
good.
an episode on My Big Mouth.
Yes, stay tuned.
Actually, yeah, we should do a series on every non-Oasis single.
Stick around, kids.
Our favorite.
2027.
And then Pitchfork.
Oh, I have my issues with Pitchfork, but continue.
They're known to be
Snooty Tooty.
Snooty Tooty is one word for it.
I guess. I shouldn't
Highly
say that.
critical.
Yeah, I guess that's their thing.
So one of their writers, Laura Snape, in 2016, she did a review of Noel Gallagher's Rethink edition.
Okay.
And she gave an overall distaste for the album, but she called Stand By Me genuinely touching.
Okay, that's nice.
So
yeah.
people just get it. I don't know. They get the
Yeah.
Stand By Me comfort.
Yeah, it is. I like how she said that. It's touching.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. And often in issues, Sarah, I made in my notes, a big issue is definitely maybe, and What's the Story, Morning Glory. Undeniably, they're amazing albums.
They are.
Well written. How impressive to not only have an amazing debut, definitely maybe, but then come out with a great sophomore album.
Yes.
What's the Story, Morning Glory.
Yeah, that's tough to do.
Yeah, it's very tough to do. There was so much pressure for Be Here Now that
Yeah.
how do you make everybody happy?
Oh, you can't.
Yeah.
And Oasis at that point, they were just so huge.
They were so big.
Like, you can't win either way.
Well, there's that clip of Noel at, I think it's the 1997 Brit Awards. I think he's joking, but he's like, I want more. I'm part of the biggest band in the world. I have a Rolls Royce, but I want more. He's kind of joking, but it's kind of like a true satire on what everyone felt like Oasis were at the time.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
In like 96, 97 especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Stand By Me, it was never really played regularly by Oasis. I think
No.
a lot of people say this has to do with Noel Gallagher, his distaste for the album.
Yeah.
We don't need to get into it. I mean, you can watch our episode on me talking about Be Here Now as my favorite album. All you Oasis fans out there probably know there's a very interesting relationship Noel has with this album.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
After Oasis broke up, Noel Gallagher, he forms the High Flying Birds.
Yep.
And he was known to play Oasis songs on his sets.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Then I found an article on a website called Far Out, and this was in March 2024. So this just would have been a few months before Oasis announced their reunion.
Yeah.
And at this show, the author of the article for Far Out, Ben Forrest, he wrote about Noel playing a lot of songs at this High Flying Bird show that did actually end up on the reunion set list.
Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah.
he played The Master Plan, he played Talk Tonight, Half the World Away. So
wow.
his little acoustic set.
Nice. Okay.
So at this show in March 2024, so this is just a few months before Oasis announced their huge reunion and the world stops.
Yes, it does.
This show, it's in Poole, and he came out on stage for the encore. And what Noel says is, does anyone know a song called Stand By Me? Well, I'm going to play it. And then he plays it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fantastic show.
It does sound like a fantastic show. I didn't know about this show. I don't know. I hate to say this, Sarah. Not lost interest in Oasis. I had kind of put Oasis in the back burner for a while.
Yeah.
But then, of course, like every other diehard Oasis fan, when they announced a reunion, we all jumped
came
right back
out.
into
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
But researching for this episode of our podcast, I came across a lot of clips actually addressing this when he came out and played Stand By Me.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking at this point, Sarah, he must have known the band was going to get back together.
I would imagine by March 2024. They announced it in August. I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is such a sneaky, little cheeky Noel Gallagher move.
Gotta love those cheeky Noel Gallagher
Yeah,
moves.
to play Stand By Me after all these years from an album that you have such a love-hate relationship with. I don't even know if it's a love-hate. You might even just say a hate relationship with. I don't know. It's just a sneaky little way of saying, like, it's going to happen, guys.
Well, and this was like he's practicing.
Oh, he's practicing. He is practicing.
He's getting ready. And I mean, High Flying Birds also has Gem in it. So they were like,
That's
okay,
right. That's right.
Okay, bro, we're doing this.
Yeah. So then I went down the rabbit hole of Stand By Me live versions.
Ooh, yeah. I looked it up.
It can really suck you in.
It can suck you in.
Did you come across the 1998 version of Noel singing it acoustically at Much Music?
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah. Oh man, I found the best clip.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was on Facebook of all things. And Noel's playing. If you guys have followed along with our podcast series, you'll know we're huge Much Music fans. Shout out to Strombo.
Yes.
And it was just fun as a Canadian girl to be watching this because it just gave me all the feels seeing it, Noel playing it at Much Music. Much Music was a very interactive environment. All of the fans are standing around listening, and it was just kind of sweet to see all these fans so into this song. And Noel did a really good job.
Yeah.
Liam, don't get me wrong, I love your vocals in the song. I do think you sing it very well, but it was nice to see Noel singing it acoustically.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Noel singing Stand By Me because I looked up Stand By Me and Liam seems to have sung it quite often.
Well, another point, Sarah, did you watch in 2019? He performed it for the first time since 2001 at an Unplugged show, an MTV Unplugged.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
Oh, wow.
So he performed it in 2019, as I said, the first time in 18 years for MTV Unplugged. Liam did his own MTV Unplugged.
Okay.
And Bonehead actually played in this version.
Oh, maybe I did see that one. Does it look like they're kind of in a church?
Kind of. And there's a big orchestra behind it.
I did see that. Okay, that's the one I watched. Yes.
And this performance was actually even praised by Jordan Bassett of Enemy. And he called it the album's standout track, which, as we said, Stand By Me is often considered that. And he said, it provides the show's emotional centerpiece. From the way the audience sings along with his wounded dispatch, you sense Liam Gallagher's not the only person in the room nursing a few regrets.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That was really well done with the strings in the background, Bonehead's there.
Yeah.
And Liam just kind of seemed so like heartfelt and vulnerable up there singing it.
Like Jordan, Snail Mail wrote, it just gives you full body chills. Yeah. It really did watching and seeing Bonehead.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. And nursing a few regrets. I'm like, oh, don't we all in our older ages have a few regrets we nurse?
a few, for sure.
Stand By Me, the EP, Sarah. Let's get into the EP.
Oh, I'm going to say something maybe a bit provocative for the EP.
Okay.
I think this is one of the best with the B-sides of all of Oasis. listening to it again.
Yeah.
Because it's been a while.
It's been a while. Sarah, let's start with the iconic cover. I love that.
Yeah. Do you have anything about the cover?
Well, so it features an elderly couple. If you're not familiar, it's an elderly couple. They look like they have what, Sarah, like 60s, 70s kind of vibe going.
Yes, definitely. It's a retro kind of look.
Yeah. So it was designed by our boyfriend, Brian Cannon of Microdot.
Nice. Yeah.
And the artwork is known for featuring his ex-girlfriend's grandparents, Ivy and Ron Johnston.
Okay.
So what I couldn't find out, and if any of you know, please put it in the comments, was this picture made in 1997? Or is this an old picture that he found of his ex-girlfriend's grandparents? I couldn't find that.
Okay, because it does look like it could be from 30 years ago.
Yeah.
When you're thinking of the late 90s.
And it made me, like, this cover's always stood out to me. I think it just reminds me of my parents, like, being old and in love still. And then when I found out, I'm like, oh, man, it actually is a couple. Because I wasn't sure if it was two models, two actors.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, man, it was actually old grandparents, hopefully in love.
Yeah.
I just thought that was even cooler.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. That is a really cool cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just works so well with the song.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So number 1, Stand By Me.
Yep.
The classic. And then number 2, Sarah.
I Got the Fever is number 2. And
that is a toe tapper.
Oh, I
haven't listened to that in
such
years.
a good song. I Got the Fever. There's a book, A Sound So Very Loud, the inside story of every song Oasis recorded. It's by it's by two fellows that used to write for The Enemy back in the day. So they one upped us, Katie, because they're doing every single song here. But actually, this was suggested from someone in the comments. So if you are listening, thank you for suggesting this. I decided to check it out, this book. And I just want to share what they wrote about I Got the Fever. I really liked it. And I'll give credit where credit is due. This was written by Hamish McBain. And as I mentioned, he did write for The Enemy. And I think he did a bit of writing for Oasis back in the day too. So here we go. I Got the Fever. When I interviewed Liam a few months prior to his first solo show, he surprised me when he said that his new band were considering doing I Got the Fever. Nobody will effing know it's Oasis, eh? He grinned. Which was true, unlike Stay Young from its predecessor, Single or Going Nowhere. It was not to have much of an afterlife having been recorded. A shame. It's a heavy, straight-up rock and roll song with a long, soaring chorus that actually features the word soar and the equal to lots of songs from that era. You can see why Liam was contemplating showing it some love years later. I just really like that because I remember as a kid, this song always stuck out for me, but it's not on the master plan. I don't think it was played that much, but Oasis always did this. I'm like, my God, you guys have such gems that just kind of got tucked away
in your back pocket to come out when you're 38 and you're like, damn, this is a good song.
It is a good song.
It just makes you want to like shout it, like sing it from the rooftops.
Yeah, like I got the freaking fever. Just so good.
No, it is. It is good.
Following that, My Sister Lover, which is also really good.
That was really good. And it's funny, Sarah, because I remember, I think when we did our top 10 Oasis singles, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, but somebody commented that my favorite Oasis song is My Sister Lover. And a lot of people give me funny looks because it's such a odd name, but he wrote something along the lines of like, if you know Oasis, though, you know this is an amazing track. And it is such a good song.
It is. It really is. Just it's kind of like deep with his lyrics and how Liam sings it. And I always thought My Sister Lover, it is a funny title.
Yes.
And now that I know so much about Oasis with this podcast and every single Oasis single series, reading more into Oasis and their history, My Sister Lover, I think they got that from way, way back in the early 90s when Oasis were not Oasis yet. They practiced somewhere in Manchester where bands would go and practice, I don't know.
The Boardwalk?
Oh, maybe. Did you hear about this? Do you
A
know?
band, my band, Sister Lover.
Okay, so there was an all-female band called like Sister Lovers, and they would jam in
Yeah.
the same space as Oasis. And this was the famous night where Sister Lovers were going to play in the King Tut's Wawa Hut
Yeah.
in Scotland. And we're like, oh, you should just come with us. And Oasis weren't on the bill. They weren't going to play them. But then Oasis
Yeah.
were like, screw you, we're going to play. And it's the famous night where Alan McGee is like, oh,
Filmation Records is
who
there.
the hell are these guys?
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, connecting it now. I'm like, oh, that's probably why they called this song My Sister Lover.
So I read that, and
Okay.
also I went down the rabbit hole of Reddit. Some people claim
okay.
there's no basis to that story, and that Knowles never said that's why the song is called Sister Lover.
Yeah.
But it does make sense.
Yeah.
It did happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Right?
It does. And they kind of supported Oasis in a
Yeah.
way to be like, oh, you should come with us and play.
Yeah.
Even though they
So-
weren't.
I read that too. It's kind of an homage to them. And then, like I said, then some people said that's not the case, but I think that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I
'cause,
was thinking.
You know, I'm like, okay, yeah, it sounds like an incestuous song, but I'm like, Noel's not going to just write this song about incest.
Oh, yeah. No, I never thought of that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
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 So I read, Sarah, that when I just Googled what does sister lover mean. So I read that the lyrics can be broken down into two parts. So the first is the backstage tribute. That's to the Sister Lovers band. Then it also says Noel's intent was more about absolute unconditional devotion to a partner.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like your devotion to a partner and your bond to your partner / sister.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're my lover. And then he says, I mean, brother or something. So we're not really sure. And I mean, there's a song like this from Suede too, where it's like, you don't know the singer hit like that person's perspective too. Maybe Noel's not thinking, oh, this is Liam and Noel Gallagher singing it.
Yeah.
It's someone else.
Well, then Sarah, in my later years, after hearing you play Stone Roses a lot, and when we shared our childhood bedroom, it made me think of Love Spreads, because they sing about the singer is my sister.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
Love
thought, I'm like,
Spreads.
oh, is this Noel's some sort of homage to Stone Roses? Because they're big fans of Stone Roses, are they not?
Yes, I think so. I mean, Liam is for sure.
Yeah.
I would imagine Noel is as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. I never thought about that because, yeah, what did they say in that song?
The singer is my sister.
No, something about sister is my queen. That's
Yes,
it. That's
okay.
it. Yeah. Sister, she's my queen. Yeah,
I don't know.
that could be. Yeah. Wow, Katie, interesting connection there. Yeah. No, that's another question we have to ask Noel.
Noel, please be on our show. We would
it
love
in
to
the-
hear your thoughts.
Put it into the Google Docs, Katie.
Yeah.
Questions to ask NG.
Yeah. And then Sarah, of course, number 4.
One of my favorite Oasis songs,
Going Nowhere.
Going Nowhere. That is a magical song. And I mentioned this.
Magical, yes.
It's magical, and it's Noel Gallagher being enchanting.
Oh, enchanting.
That's what I said. Well, he's so enchanting, Noel Gallagher, and this song is just very enchanting.
I just picture him with like Lord of the Rings, like long hair, like wizard folk.
Yeah, I guess he could enchant you into his
I know, I'm a little-
world.
I'm a little sad Going Nowhere didn't end up on the recital or end up on the reunion set list from his little acoustic set. I'm sure he considered it.
Maybe you take out Little by Little and put in Going Nowhere. Although I do like the shout out to Healing Chemistry. So,
Yeah.
but it's such a good song, and I've mentioned this before. I'm obsessed with his. There's a version of it. Have you watched it yet?
Is he wearing a button-up shirt?
He is wearing a crisp colored buttoned up shirt. You know, I love my NG in a buttoned up shirt. No, it's at Abbey Roads with the high flying birds a few years ago.
Yes, I'm
And he-
aware.
I've mentioned this a few times. Anyways, they do Going Nowhere. And as I mentioned, I'm obsessed with that version. It's so beautiful.
I remember being at what was Ryerson University in my dorm room. super stressed out because I think I had like an essay due the next day. I hadn't started. And do you remember just singing this song together?
Oh yeah, I do. We sang Going Nowhere. Yeah, to kind of like de-stress.
And it does. It's a good de-stressor. If you're having a bad day at work or with your partner, just go into the washroom and sing the song or listen to it.
Nowhere. Well, I was actually going to say that if you're having a bad day, put on the version of Noel singing it at Abbey Roads because it's beautiful. They all look great there. They're in this gorgeous studio and it's such a lovely song.
It is a lovely song.
If you're feeling down, put this on. It's so lovely.
Yeah, the Stand By Me EP is just a good mix. It's a good flow, as Sarah often says about Oasis's sets. It is. You start off with Stand By Me, like everything's going to be okay, you know, hold on to each other. Go into I Got the Fever, gives you a little bit of confidence boost.
Yep.
Then you go into Sister Lover.
And you're like, I'm not really sure.
Even though you don't know what it means, it's a freaking good song.
It is.
And the way Liam and Noel just sing it together.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. They sing it together.
Yeah. So shout out to our follower who commented that it's their favorite song. I get it. I get you.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
awesome.
And then you end it with Going Nowhere.
Going Nowhere. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Such a good song.
Such a good song.
Yeah.
So solid EP.
Solid EP.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say also something provocative, Katie, because I know you're such a huge fan of Be Here Now, but hear me out.
Will my feelings be hurt?
Do you know what I mean? I Got the Fever, Going Nowhere, then Stand By Me.
Yeah.
Like, no?
I don't know. You can't beat My Big Mouth.
My Big Mouth is really good.
That guitar at the beginning.
Yeah, I know, you're right. I was just thinking that listening to this a few times.
Putting that on your AirPods and just walking down the street.
My Big Mouth, yeah. Okay, and that's great.
But like, I understand.
You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we won't mess with Be Here Now. But
we'll mess with Be Here Now.
I was thinking
so, Sarah, another big piece of the puzzle we always talk about too when it comes to every single Oasis single is the music video.
The music video.
So what are your thoughts on the Stand By Me music video?
It's been a while since I've watched it, so I did rewatch it for today's episode. Yeah, I didn't realize as a kid, I distinctly remember how Oasis look in it, but it's all the stories where at first you think the story later on in the video is not what you first think.
No.
Which I'm like, oh, I never thought of that as a kid.
I didn't think of that as a kid either. I don't think I fully paid attention to it.
Yeah.
And this, Sarah, would be before we had cable.
Yeah.
So we probably didn't get to see the video a lot.
Yeah. But I do remember it.
I do remember it, but we probably didn't see it a lot. Maybe our brother downloaded it off our dial-up internet. So maybe we saw it then. And it's funny because when I Googled Oasis Stand By Me video, some people comment that it's the funniest video they ever made.
The funniest video?
Yeah. Oh, and apparently there's this DVD where Noel does commentary on all the Oasis videos. And apparently I think he kind of rips it apart.
Oh.
But this probably goes along with this whole I don't like Be Here Now.
Yeah.
Shame.
I mean, it's not Do You Know What I Mean?
It's not Do You Know What I Mean?
But
I have an interesting relationship with Stand By Me. In one sense, Sarah, I think they could have probably done a lot better with the song.
Yes.
I really do. In another sense, watching as an adult, okay, it's kind of cool. At the beginning, you think all these people are horrible people, but they're actually helping people. Apparently, this was based on a Guardian. Was it an advertising segment?
Oh, I think I did read that. Yes.
So apparently, it was based on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not their best, right?
No.
I think we have discussed their best.
Yeah.
Wonderwall, Don't Look Back in Anger, Do You Know What I Mean? But I do like the storylines. And this was big in the 90s. Remember when the band would just play somewhere and then there's another story going on? Well, that was big.
This was kind of the
music
height
videos.
of your grandiose music videos.
Yes.
So as big and blown up as you can make it, let's do it.
Yeah.
And this is the band that also had the 2 military helicopters just in the video before.
That's right. Yeah.
And so it's not, I wouldn't say, it's a terrible music video by any means, but it's also not one of my favorite Oasis videos.
No, me neither. I will say, and I don't know if this needs to be said, but they do look really good in this video.
Yeah.
I thought
I
with
do
the buttoned
think,
up.
No, they do. And then I thought, I'm like, oh my goodness, Liam's like 27 here. So
Well,
of
I
course
was-
he looks great.
I know. I was like, oh my God, Liam looks so good. And then I'm thinking, yeah, we all
Yeah.
look amazing at 27.
Yeah. I did think it's kind of funny though, the scene where the two sisters are fighting and he just kind of goes up and stands there. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm curious whose idea that was. Was the director like, oh, Liam, you should walk over? Or was he just like,
Just going, yeah. Who knows? It could have been just Liam walking around.
yeah.
And yeah, Liam, I mean, something about Liam Gallagher just walking around. He looks really cool. So the director's like, oh, let's just film this.
Yeah, let's just
Right.
add Liam in.
Yeah, throw him in there. Why not?
Throw him in there.
What the heck?
Yeah. Personal connections. Sarah, what are your personal connections to Stand By Me?
I mean, we did mention that this was in the reunion tour.
Reunion tour, I believe it was played right after.
It was their Be Here Now little snippet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right
Song
after-
14 between
yeah.
Do You Know What I Mean and Cast No Shadow.
Oh, okay. I always liked Stand By Me for these reasons that we talked about today and everything. But it was never one of like my standout songs. Like it's not one of my top 10. But for the reunion tour, because Katie and I saw Oasis when they came to Toronto last in August 2025.
Yeah.
This was honestly, I think, the most emotional song
Yeah.
in the reunion tour, which is funny because they played other songs that I love. Well, all the songs, but
yeah.
this one just really, really hit me. Like this was the one where I'm like tearing up a bit,
Yeah.
maybe because I'm with you and it's
Yeah.
Oasis and we're all together and it's just gorgeous song. It just really, this was the most emotional song
Yeah.
I experienced at the reunion tour, I think.
Yeah, and you felt that, Sarah, when I watched the 2000, what did I say, 2019, the 2019 clip of Liam singing it.
Yeah.
You felt that.
You did,
There's something
yeah.
about this song that just people just feel comforted. And
Yeah.
what Snail Mail wrote, the indie musician I talked about earlier, just the simplicity. Like
Yeah.
Stand By Me, nobody knows the way it's going to be. It's
Yep.
it's basic. It's basic lyrics, but the way Liam sings it and the guitar, you
Yes.
just feel it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right at the beginning. And we've said this before. I mean, you know, people knock Liam, whatever. He is a good singer.
He is.
And I think a song such as this, it was just made so well for Liam Gallagher. Like
It was made so well.
He sings
Yeah.
it so beautifully.
He does.
Yeah, it's just such a well done song.
Yeah. No, it is a well done song. And I always loved it. I even remember as a 10-year-old girl listening to the cassette tape of Be Here Now, just loving this song and just feeling such a connection to it.
Yeah.
And
I've always loved this song.
I'm going to get a bit personal here, Sarah. I think part of the reason this song really sticks for me is back soon after the album was released in October of 1997. Our neighbors, we had these lovely neighbors across the street. They were a nice Irish family. They moved to Canada, and their son got in a horrible farming accident.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, about 2 weeks later after the accident occurred, he passed away.
Yes.
And I remember listening to this song on the way to the hospital to visit the family, and just really appropriate lyrics for the mourning and the pain the family was going through. Like Stand By Me, nobody knows the way it's going to be. And I thought it was interesting too, when I looked up the video, I just noticed the first YouTube comment from a listener of the video, and they wrote, "My wife passed away from COVID in 2021, and this song really has really helped me get through the pain, because the line, 'Times are hard when things have got no meaning,' really just comforts you." And I'm like,
Wow.
I never really thought of that line until reading this random YouTube quote. And I'm like, what a beautiful line. Like,
Yeah.
kind of that question in life, why do bad things happen to good people?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely. The tragedy that you mentioned from the family, I think that was one of the first times I kind of thought something like that. Like,
Yeah.
why do bad things happen
Yeah.
to good people?
Yeah, because we would have
Yeah.
only been 10 and 12 at the time.
Yeah, that was intense. And yeah, I do think of Be Here Now with that, because it came out around the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just a comforting song, and I think that's why it's one of my favorite Oasis songs.
Yeah.
Because it just helps you get through hard times.
It really does. And that's something with Oasis. And you mentioned that person that wrote on the video. These songs are there, and I hope Oasis know that. Like, these songs really mean a lot to a lot of us.
I think they felt it. I think they felt it. And when they played Stand By Me at this concert, like, whew.
Yeah. No, I'm going to get a little bit.
That was a heavy hitter of emotion for me.
It was. Yeah. It was. Oh, man, that one's just. Well, it's that warm blanket for you, right?
Yeah.
For a lot of us. And when you go to a concert, and that's the amazing thing about a show, you go and you feel that connection with the band, which sounds silly because we don't know these men. Although I felt a connection with them.
But you do, you do watch them grow up.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. And we've mentioned this before. I mean, we grew up in the era of the Gem and Andy Oasis, but then Bonehead being there.
Oh,
and they're all. They're all singing "Stand By Me,"
all
and you're
feels.
just like, "Oh my god!" Yeah,
and just seeing like nobody thought the Gallagher brothers would ever be in the same room again, let alone sharing a stage
and singing "Stand By Me."
Yeah,
right. Yeah, for them, I would just be, and maybe they'll talk about this in the documentary. Like,
oh, I can't wait.
What went through their minds and hearts singing?
I know
this stuff.
We're feeling emotional, and we didn't even write this music.
Like, you were there and you were doing it, and your brothers.
Yeah,
just those complex layers.
Yeah.
And Stand By Me.
Stand By Me. Nobody knows the way it's gonna be.
No.
Yeah.
You really don't. And you survive until tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. And Stand By Me. Yeah.
So there you have it, folks. That's our episode on Stand By Me. Kind of long, kind of all over the place. But at the end of the day, nobody knows the way it's gonna be. So just stand by me.
Yeah. And it's a fitting song in these times.
Yeah.
Right. If you're feeling lost with everything.
It's a universal message.
It is. Yeah. It is. Just so comforting. And maybe that's it too. When you listen to it, you feel like a human connection with others.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Like you said, we felt it at the reunion. And when I watch other clips, even that 1998 Noel Gallagher clip of Playing At Much Music, you could just feel the audience really, really feeling this song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That must have been really cool to see that.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So thank you guys for listening.
Yeah. Thank you. We really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Let us know your connection if you're okay sharing it. It might be kind of personal, but your connection with Stand By Me. We'd love to know. We love the comments from Oasis fans.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. It's awesome. They're awesome to read. Stay tuned. We have more amazing Oasis singles coming up. We are going through all of them all the way to Falling Down. Katie and I post a new full episode every other Friday. The podcast is available on Spotify and YouTube. And we will see you in the next one.